So, this is a new Let's Play. Final Fantasy VIII. The first time I've done a Let's Play that I have, let's say, some mixed feelings about. But I thought it would be interesting to show off what happens to my commentary if I'm playing a game that I have mixed feelings about. So yeah, this sequence goes on for a long time, and I'm not really sure what the point of all of these words are. I've never been able to work out what they mean. I suppose this woman will be in this field, and we need her. I might show it off for a little bit, but I'm not going to show you this entire sequence because it's boring. Some fans seem to really like it. I don't know why. I admit that's quite a good change from the feather to the sword there. This is a sword that shoots people, by the way, which makes me wonder why we bother with a sword. These characters you see will appear later and become significant at some point. This is an emu character, an emu kid. You're supposed to call him Goth if you insist. Fighting a kid with no personality whatsoever. Okay, I may well have actually changed my mind and decided to show off all of that. I'm not sure. I'm going to edit it. Anyway, it does explain what's just happened to him, so I suppose that's helpful. Look at these brilliant special effects that have aged so well. These graphics. I'll be talking about what's wrong with them later. I'm going to have to change these controls a bit because I'm using the same controller I used for Banjo-Kazooie, and I forgot how awkward the buttons can be when they're not quite working perfectly. But never mind, we don't have to flip between options that much during this first episode. Now I can name my character. I'm not going to. I am going to use the controller, the keyboard, I think, for switching between different options because of this controller. Not quite sure why she said so we'll meet again, since she's his teacher. It's not as if they just met yesterday. It will become painfully clear over time during cutscenes like that, as beautiful as they look, and I admit that was a really beautiful looking cutscene, even if it only lasted for 20 seconds, that the characters don't talk because the technology didn't exist yet. Not quite sure why. Look, I can make her stop walking. I think the idea is that she's saying what he's saying at the same time he's saying it, so because he's so predictable. See? This dialogue is really weird. Now! Okay, I'll talk about music in a second. So cutscene's over. Okay, I'm just going to talk about the music for a second. I'll try to make it brief. So yeah, for the Steam version of this game, which is the one I'm playing, the PC port, they used MIDI versions of the original music because, frankly, Square Enix couldn't care less about the PC ports, or indeed any non-Japanese versions of the game. So, I managed to change the music using a mod that I found online. I'll look up which mod it is and put it in the description, if not this episode, then the next one. But, because I took this game off my computer and have now downloaded it again, I'm not quite sure if you're hearing the MIDI version or the mod version, which is supposed to be better. I'll be honest, I can't really tell the difference, but apparently some people think the MIDI version sounds horrible. I think that's a bit of an overreaction there, Sifa. Assuming that's how it's pronounced. So yeah, just go up to a character and press A, assuming you're using the same controls as I am. You can change them, but I think this is the default for the controller if you want to talk to someone. Yeah, we're not going to be doing that. You'll meet them later. There is a reason why they're standing around, I'm sure. So if you really wanted to, you could go back to your seat. If I can get the controls to work. And you can review various things. So yeah, you've got this, and then you can scroll down and do these various things. Fortunately, movement is limited in the game anyway. You can only really go where the game wants you to go sometimes. So. These are suspiciously quiet hallways. I mean, this is a military academy, as you'll find out. I would have thought there would be at least one student wandering around. Good point with that double hay there. Might as well. So the elevator's here. You can talk to these people, but you don't have anything remotely useful to say, so. It's a pretty good job that we actually have this, because this building, every part of it looks so similar to every other part of it that during the times when you have to navigate it, it really is hard to work out where anything is. Going there later, because that's what you want to do when you're training students at a school. Have creatures that could actually kill them. If you do touch the book, you might accidentally get a paper cut, so be careful in there as well. Sid is a character who appears in all of the Final Fantasy games, in case you've never played one before, and in each of the games he looks different and has a different job, but they're all called Sid. These are for saving. Once I can remember the controls for saving. Ah, yes, it's the B button. Alright, I am obviously not going to get rid of my previous game. I've been playing 33.5 hours. Not consecutively, obviously. I'll introduce you to what these other things do later. And this automatically puts you at wherever it is you selected, basically. You have to go through this explanation even if you already have a saved game, but it's just sort of par for the course, I guess. Okay, time to explain that better. So at the moment Quistis already has a GF, I think, but we'll see in a second. So I'm going to try to explain this properly. So yeah, first you need to junction the GF, which stands for Guardian Force. So alright, no, hers hasn't been set to Quetzalcoatl. So I'm going to set his to Shiva. There we go. Now, you can, if we had magic, we'd be able to junction it at this point, but we don't, so we need to select abilities. I suggest we start with Draw. What Draw does is take magic attacks from enemies and allow you to use them against the enemies. So I'll admit that is a pretty helpful thing that I'm glad is in the game, because basically it means you can use enemies' attacks against them, which I think is cool. This allows you to use the GF in battle. You'll probably end up doing that a lot, especially if you're as bad at this as I am. And item allows you to use an item. Now later on, when you get more characters, you're going to want to have a careful mix, because you're not going to want one character that has item and the others can't, because that means if that character dies, none of the other characters can use an item. You can only use the item if you've got the item ability. Now, these abilities, basically some characters, you know what, I'll explain that a bit later. And that's all you really need to know for the moment, I think. Okay, let's just drink some Christus. So this is going to basically work the same way last time worked. Okay, I want us to actually get something done. So let's go ahead. You won't be attacked whilst you're on the road. But this is but I am going the wrong way because I ignored the fact that it's east. I apologise for that. The cave is actually over here. So yeah, first time fighting monsters. We'll get through the cave and then we'll end the episode. So this might be a long episode, but it's I'm not sure what the thing beginning with R was. I've never been able to work out which button this is. So never mind. I'm sorry, I can't show those off because I can't work out which button they are. But you don't really need them anyway. In fact, it's a good idea to avoid battles. One system they have here, and I have no idea why they have it, because it's idiotic, is that creatures actually, if you're at a low level, creatures, including bosses, remain at a low level, whereas they get more powerful if you rise up through the levels, which means they will always match whatever level you have. Now there are still some tough bosses that will be tough whatever happens, but this is something that the game does. Alright, you know what? I'm actually going to skip through this and just show you on my own how it works, because this is boring, and this episode has already been going on for 20 minutes, so... Okay, I decided to show this off because, as I said earlier, I could never work out how to do that, so it's pretty obvious that I've simply said I already know how to use the gun blade when I've been playing this previously, probably because I got sick of all of the tutorials. So I'm gonna configure that first. And I'm going to put the gun blade on auto because, as I said, I can't work out which button it is. Alright, neither of them have magic attacks, so I'm gonna deal with the magic later. Now, this thing doesn't bother to explain how this works, which is rather irritating, and you would have assumed that if you can do it in under 10 minutes, then you would get a higher rating. Actually, the rating is based on how close you can get to 10 minutes without going over. So, I am going to select 10 minutes, and well, I always suck at getting the timing anyway, so if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. It's fair enough. So, I thought it would be better if we have some actual, something actually going on. So, I'm actually going to show us off fighting this GF. And we're going to have to fight some other stuff as well, but never mind. Obviously, you want this to be done as quickly as humanly possible. But a couple of draw attacks would actually be useful at this point. So stock means that you now have these attacks, you own them, and cast means you cast them against the enemies. This means you use them immediately. On magic, I'm gonna have to get rid of that. Never mind. Not sure I have time now. Fortunately, this thing's going to be pretty easy to defeat. So, I mean, we are going to have to hurry, but. I can always choose to come back in here again, as far as I know. Okay, that was a mistake. Never mind. Can make them one from battle, but I really don't remember how. If I had an ice attack... Oh, actually, I do have an ice attack. Let's go with the GF here. This is why Shiva's pretty helpful. So yeah, at the moment Shiva is receiving our damage, which is quite useful, instead of us receiving our damage. Or at the very least Shiva is receiving Squall's damage, but that also means that in the boss battle, for example, Shiva is gonna eventually be destroyed just through receiving so many attacks. Anyway, I'm running out of time. I need to make sure that doesn't happen again. Because we've got a boss coming up. Okay, you press the two movement buttons for getting out of here. Normally I won't get out because that thing's quite helpful, but I've only got 6 minutes, so... And so you said this after I ran away from battle. I suggest you mostly use Shiva against this thing, but it might be useful to draw some of these attacks as well. far as I know, your characters will keep the attacks that they perform, so... Cures are going to be pretty helpful here. I might as well use her one as well, her GF. So yeah, she was pretty useful because she was the ice element and that badly hurts Freed. This is the fire element. You really don't need to worry about this fight. This fight's the cinch. Unfortunately, you have to go through these animations every time. There's no way to skip them. It's just using up our time, but never mind. Okay, I think I just unfortunately used a potion against myself. Never mind. It might take me a little while to remember how the controls work. Might as well use stun against it. Sure, what it does. Not enough messing around on this piece. Yes. Weak against ice. You can see at the bottom there, absorbs fire. That's how much HP it has. You get the idea, plus X to go with the button. Yeah, you don't receive any from the boss battle. Okay, I think the clock has stopped. I'm probably not going to show any more battles off unless it's a new creature, but I will battle these things and then get outside. And you can save in the wilderness, which is precisely what I'm going to do. And since this has been a pretty long episode, I am going to end the episode there.